This is how we ride. This is how
in PA Posse land, as Danny Dietrich put onto his Facebook page that of odds that he gets thrown out of the Grove this year. Thrown out is definitely a heavy favorite at 650. I put a comment on there, take Tony Stewart's advice and throw the water bottle Joey Logano style. Someone said this ain't nap crap. I was just trying, I'm not saying be NASCAR. I'm just saying, like, hey, let's, you don't want to get thrown out for kicking Raymer's ass again or anything. And after the events that happened yesterday and learning and reading about how he got screwed by Raymer, I went to Twitter and I made this post last night after learning about this situation. And I said, that does it. After the situation with Danny Dietrich at Williams Grove, I have enough sympathy for the jackass to get something off of my chest. If you, one sir named Denny Hamlin, can't jump into a sprint car and beat Double Douche, then admit he is a better driver than you. And what do I mean by that? I mean by that, he is a better driver than you. If you can't jump into these sprint cars and beat our guys, the world views our guys as flag football. If the NFL player can't come down and beat our guys in flag football, then how can he say he's a better player of the game? That's the worldly perspective. That's the respect factor that we don't even look to try to get. Unfortunately, Danny Dietrich's a nobody in the real world out there. He's a local flag football player in the global scheme of things. And that's very disrespectful to him and all of our dirt track racing competitors and players on the field. But for some reason, I'm the only one that's willing to say this statement right here. I don't think anyone can jump into a sprint car and kick Danny Dietrich's ass right off the get-go. So why doesn't he get that respect? I think that I have some ideas and reasonings, but no one wants to listen to that because it fights their idols and their icons. And you really do. I made that video about Kyle Larson. I know some sprint car guys who could do what he did in that late model with the adequate amount of time, and they instantly went to Donnie Schatz and this and that and the other, and Kyle's the best sprint car driver to ever live. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we actually have an opportunity this year to see if that's true, and actually Danny Dietrich's going to be able to play that game, because this year Kyle Larson is running for the High Limit Sprint Car Championship. So in everyone's minds, the High Limit Sprint Car Championship, if you win that championship, you've beat the best sprint car driver in the world. You can't say that if you win the World of Outlaw Sprint Car Series Championship, but you can if you win the High Limit Sprint Car Championship. Because Kyle Larson is the greatest sprint car driver of all time to the world out there. And honestly, he's got a resume where people could logistically say that, guys, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry that it's happened to y'all. Y'all cheered it on, though. Y'all were happy. Y'all smiled. Y'all supported it. Y'all didn't bark back at the notion. I did. I did it alone as well. And now since I was the one guy alone and y'all let all the trickety tricks and the push of the buttons work, Bluetooth and the Apple Watches, since y'all turned a blind eye to all that stuff, Kyle Larson's the greatest sprint car driver in today's world. And if you don't beat the best driver there is in a championship that he's at every single race in, then you're not the best sprint car driver in the world. But if you race the High Limit Series and you race Kyle Larson's committed to the entire series. If you win the High Limit Sprint Car Series Championship, you literally can claim that you consistently beat the greatest sprint car driver in the world, and now you are the greatest sprint car driver in the world. That is the chip that the High Limit Series is putting on the table. And I think that, unfortunately, that chip has some merit behind it because of the damage and the destruction that Kyle Larson did to y'all's ass in 2020. Now, he didn't win every World of Outlaw race he competed in. The majority of his wins were non-World of Outlaw wins. But he's got a Kings Royal on his resume. He's got Knoxville Nationals on his resume now. He's got every damn thing that you could want. And he has a damn good case to be dubbed by fans, especially, as the greatest sprint car driver in today's society. So unfortunately, World of Outlaw drivers, you could win the World of Outlaw Series Championship this year, but you can't say that when you won that championship, it was against the greatest sprint car driver in today's world. But the winner of the High Limit Sprint Car Series Championship can say that. So unfortunately for y'all in the World of Outlaw Sprint Car Series, your You're competing for the 1B championship in the social domain. Now, I think that's sad. I would preach against that. I would talk about that against that route, that viewing perspective. But I'm in the minority. And since most of y'all are caught up in idolization, you don't care about that crap. Y'all don't care to address these activist roles that have played big factors in making you look like a flag football player. There's only one Tom Brady out of the sprint car world, and that's Kyle. That's what they say. So, to those pursuing the 1A championship of 2023 in the high limit sprint car series, I say good luck. And I'll be saying, just like I say when Kyle Busch goes out there and gets lapped, look, this is proof of how great our dirt guys are. Every time you sprint car drivers go out there and whoop Kyle Larson's ass, I'm going to say, look, everyone, this is how good these sprint car drivers are, too. They're beating the man. So just a message to the high-limit drivers who are there all year long. You have a very rare opportunity in the social perspective to be the greatest sprint car champion this year, because you are the only series that is going to compete against the best sprint car driver in the world. They can't say that in the World of Outlaws Sprint Car Series. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that's my thoughts for the day. 81 Speedway should be great. I do plan on being down at Lakeside. Kyle, I hope his equilibrium is okay after experiencing that late model just moving on its own. Hopefully that didn't throw him off a little bit, you know. North, south, east, west, magnetic pools, all that stuff. Hopefully everything's okay. We'll see what happens come Tuesday, as the greatest sprint car series in the country takes its first green flag. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, be sure to like, comment below. What do you think? Is the High Limit Sprint Car Series championship title ranked just a little bit higher than the World of Outlaws Sprint Car Series? Because if you win that High Limit Sprint Car Series championship, that means you beat the greatest race car driver in the world. It's an interesting topic when analyzing it in that perspective. Let me know what you think. And as always, be sure to subscribe. Catch you next time, ladies and gentlemen.
This is how we ride.